The Juneteenth commemoration is understood to be the oldest continuous holiday in the United States, beginning in 1866 and having been adopted as an official holiday in June of 2021. Juneteenth commemorates freedom, but July 4th commemorates independence. The juxtaposition, the contrast, the difference between those 2 days could not be more stark. The contradiction is best summed up by the abolitionist Frederick Douglass, who in 1852 asked this question: what to the slave is the 4th of July? In his famous speech, Baba Douglass powerfully said, and I quote, "Fellow citizens, above your national tumultuous joy, I hear the mournful wail of millions whose chains, heavy and grievous yesterday, are today rendered more intolerable by the jubilee shouts that reach them." The renowned activist and abolitionist was putting a spotlight on the contradiction of being enslaved on a day celebrating independence. He was making a point about the hypocrisy of the holiday for some, yet a day of bondage for others. He was setting the record straight that while some celebrate with popping sounds of fireworks, others were enduring the popping sounds of the whip. And if Brother Douglass was here today, I think he would share similar sentiments that might be summed up this way: independence and freedom ain't the same thing. So, as I reflected on these holidays over the last few weeks, I was reminded that Jesus had something to say about freedom, which we find here in the book of John. So here is the bluff, the BLUF, the bottom line up front. Stop looking for independence and go get you some freedom. You see, that is one of the fatal flaws of independent people. And in this instance, I'm using independent people as a metaphor for the self-righteous, for the people who need you to know their worth, who need you to know their value, the people who have found a way to celebrate their independence while standing in the way of your freedom. But when independent people bump up against free people, things get real interesting. Tell somebody, don't make me get free on you, because I know the one who makes people free. I know the one who makes people free. People who had already been free didn't know they were free. You see where I'm going? People who had already been free didn't know they were free. And as the story is told, it was 2 years after the fact that they found out that they had been set free. And this compounds the tragedy with an insult. You see, it was already one thing to be enslaved. It was an entirely separate thing to be free and not know that you were free. Likewise, Independence Day has its own complications. While it is perhaps laudable to seek to be independent of taxation and ruled by someone else, declaring your independence while enslaving or oppressing another one is, in some ways, is worse than physical bondage. And so my message today is, stop looking for independence and go get you some freedom. Get you some godly freedom. Because as I read the word and as I live this journey and as I continue to walk this walk of faith, I'm coming to realize more and more each and every day, I don't need to be independent because without God, I can do nothing. I'm learning each and every day, I don't need to be independent because without God, life would be rugged. I don't need to be independent because I tell you, without God, life would be like a ship without a sail. You see, independent folks, you may have your own house, you may have your own car, two jobs and you work hard. But at the end of the day, all you really got is you get to say that you are independent. You know what I mean? That's all you got. That's all you got. But when you got Jesus, you got the truth. When you got Jesus, you got his word. When you got Jesus, you have been made free. And who the Son says is free is sure enough free indeed. Is anybody here ready to burn the mortgage because you got your deed today? Because you got your walking papers? Because you got your papers that says that what I have is mine because it has been given to me by the Son who has all authority and power to set and make me free. Anybody ready to claim your deed? Anybody here wants to be free? So stop looking to be independent and go and get you some freedom. Because in his word, he says, where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. In his word, he says, we were called to be free. In his word, he says, stand fast, therefore, in the liberty wherewith Christ hath made us free, and be not entangled with the yoke of bondage. In his word, he says, who the Son has set free is free indeed. My question is, do you want to be made free?